That is a shore power pedestal. And for a newbie, it can be pretty intimidating, but I'm going to walk you through it. It's pretty simple. This particular one has 3 different sources of power. The white ones we're familiar with, those are your 15 amp plugs like in your house. The Mac Daddy number 3 is a 50 amp. It's used by a lot of Class A rigs. And number 2 is the 30 amp. That's what Betty uses. I will say what you need to remember is turn off all of the switches before you plug anything in or pull anything out. I'm going to put one in each one. This is the 30 amp used by most Class Bs and camper vans. The next one I'm putting in is the big one. That's the 50 amp. Often that's all that's available. So I carry a 50 amp to 30 amp adapter. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. And then finally, there's the number 1, which I call the house plug. I do a lot of driveway camping. I'm very familiar with this. I use it a lot. This is just a demonstration. I would never plug all of these in together. Please don't do that. These are the power items I travel with. The item on the right is my surge protector. My power cord is a 30 amp power cord. This is the male end that goes into the surge protector. And the other side is the female end that goes into Betty. I also travel with a 50 amp to 30 amp adapter. Sometimes when I'm at a campsite, 50 amp is all they have available. So I like to use it whenever I can, and this adapter comes in handy. This end is the 50 amp end that you saw me plugging into the pedestal. And I would then plug my surge protector into this 30 amp end and my power cord into the surge protector. This is the house unit. I use it quite a bit when I'm driveway camping. Comes in handy. Of course, if you're boondocking, you don't need to use any of these. But let me back up. Let's say you've arrived at your campsite, you've backed in, put out your awning for a little shade. You have checked things out and determined this is a great spot. You're paying for the night. It's got a power pedestal, so you may as well use it. The first thing you're going to want to do is go inside and look at your control panel. If you are like me, you probably had your lithium batteries on to charge while you were driving. So I go ahead and leave these on for a little while when I'm on shore power. The next thing is your battery on-off button more than likely is on. And you are going to want to turn your inverter on before you plug into shore power. So that's all you need to do there. And now you just go grab your bits and pieces. I tend to carry most of my things in the back. I hang my power cord on a nice hook, and I keep everything else in one of those drawers. So what I tend to do is I like to hook into Betty first. So I take the female part of my 30 amp power cord and just match up the way the holes are formed with the male equivalent on Betty, and you push straight in. There's no jiggling or turning. The only thing you turn is that one ring. After you've pushed the plug all the way in, the ring tightens it down and holds it into place. My plug has a little light. It shows me when there's power coming into it, which is pretty handy. Now, some people will go and plug the other side of that cord directly into the pedestal. I like to use a surge protector. I think it's important. I'm going to do an entire video on those. But here we go. I plug the surge protector in. After it's plugged in, I turn the power on. This particular unit has a little window that shows me exactly what's going on with the power source and allows me to identify if the power source is good, which I have. So now I'm going to plug the other end of my cord that's in Betty into my surge protector, and voila, Betty has power for all manner of things, and I can run the AC as long and often as I want, which is fab. I really appreciate this outdoor outlet. It's an AC unit. People use it for their TVs, but I use it for all sorts of other things. I've plugged fans, bug zappers, an ice maker. I have an electric griddle, which I love and I use all the time. So it comes in really handy. One of the things I do want to mention is if I'm plugged into shore power for an extended period of time, I go in and turn off my lithium batteries once I know they're charged. This just keeps them healthy and prevents them from shutting down from being overcharged. And so lastly, when you're leaving, you just do everything in the reverse. Do please make sure when you're done to go ahead and turn the power off on your pedestal, ready for the next person that comes along. And there it is, easy peasy. It's almost 11 a.m. I have to run. Till next time. Bye-bye. Come on, Alfie, let's go. Yep, we gotta go. Oh, yes.